The Duskwoods thing is very, very interesting, considering like how the narrative 4 years ago was that FromSoft was like the greatest developer in the industry. They could do no wrong. They were putting out all these banger games, and that everything they put out was a masterpiece, and they were the best developer in the industry, and Nintendo could not hope to compete. Elden Ring was so good that nobody even wanted to play Tears of the Kingdom because it was just such a lesser experience, right? That was the narrative at the time. But the instant that Nintendo confirmed that they were getting their own FromSoft game that they were personally involved with, the narrative immediately began to shift into a cope and a seethe. You know, everyone is very, very upset at the fact that this happened because this completely goes against everything they thought FromSoft stood for. Because they thought FromSoft was going to be like an anti-Nintendo thing. They thought FromSoft was going to like destroy Nintendo. They thought that like FromSoft was going to be bigger than Zelda. They really genuinely thought this. They genuinely thought that Nintendo would struggle to compete with Dark Souls going forward. Okay, you know, like one of the things I found interesting, you know, over the past couple of days is that like that old like Zelda versus Dark Souls comic resurfaced. You know, the one with like the skeleton stabbing Link, like. And like it was really surprising to me to see how many people were clowning on it, you know, because it was so ridiculous and kind of depicts, I think, like the stereotype of Dark Souls fans at the time. You know, the idea that like the game was super hard and that like Zelda fans would be filtered by it and that like it was way better than Zelda. That was the narrative at the time, and it's very, very interesting to see like as more and more people have grown up like playing Zelda and playing Breath of the Wild and, you know, got into Tears. It's very, very obvious to anyone who's played both how much better Zelda is than Dark Souls. Not even from like a difficulty standpoint, but just like in general. How there's way more variety, how the stories are better, how the worlds are better, the mechanics are better, you know, puzzle solving, you know, action mechanics, you know, the frame rate. Funny how the frame rate never comes up when it comes to talking about FromSoft games, by the way. You know, you have all this stuff going on. You know,